Just how much should you be posting on Instagram? Well, the head of Instagram just gave us an answer, and it might surprise you. Welcome to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. I'm Katie Brinkley, and you're listening to the premier podcast for business owners ready to elevate their influence and impact in the industry. Have you ever wondered how digital marketing can revolutionize your business? Well, with 2 decades of experience empowering business leaders, consultants, and coaches, I understand the transformative power of digital marketing. Today, we're not just discussing strategies, we're crafting your digital legacy. In each episode, we'll dissect the trends, strategies, and insights that are shaping the future of marketing. You'll walk away with actionable knowledge to thrust your business forward and stories of local enterprises making a global impact. Are you ready to turn insights into action? Let's jump into today's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing and start shaping your legacy. Today, we have some exciting news when it comes to the gram. Instagram was going through a bit of an identity crisis in 2023. We saw them becoming more and more like TikTok, pushing a ton of reels. It became mostly videos and photographers, people that do just want to see pictures, got really frustrated. And then also we started to hearing, oh, well, you're not succeeding because you're not posting enough. There was reels for 30 days, a reel a day, for 30-day challenges. There were going live on Instagram at least once a week. All of these different things where we had to be on the app a ton, and it was all video. Well, things are about to change. And you can always tell when things are changing a little bit because Instagram starts to get a little buggy. Recently, there's been a number of people who have not been able to post very many hashtags on Instagram. So there was a limit of 5. I was recently on Reddit because that's where I do a lot of my research for what people are talking about when it comes to social media. And I saw a ton of people saying, what is going on with Instagram? Why am I only able to do 5 hashtags? So a couple of days ago, a Reddit user said, I'm trying to add hashtags to my art post since that's the only way I can actually reach people's pages. And it's limiting me to only 5 hashtags. And it won't let me post if I add any more than that. What's going on? So if you have been experiencing this, you're not alone. And it's a glitch. If you are experiencing the problem of not being able to publish your posts because you have more than 5 hashtags in there, well, just try uninstalling and reinstalling your Instagram app or updating it. Heads up though here, if you are doing that, make sure that you are looking at your draft folders because if you have reels or any posts that are in your drafts, they will disappear once you update your app. So if you're having the problem of not being able to publish, if you have more than 5 hashtags, then just try updating your app. It's the old unplug it and plug it back in IT fix here. But it did cause me to think about how we are experiencing a little bit of a transition with Instagram again. And don't worry, stick with me, folks, because we are going to talk about just how often the head of Instagram says you should be posting on the platform every single week and every day. But as they're updating their app, the 5 hashtag glitch, it's just that, it's a glitch. And it does show you that a lot of people are still using hashtags to promote their reach. So make sure that you are using those hashtags strategically so that you can reach the people that matter to you and your content the most. We also have seen something new, which is the Instagram poll feature. This is something that has quietly been rolled out with Instagram, and I feel like a lot of people are not using it to the best of their capabilities and really jumping on the opportunity the way that you should. Anytime that Instagram rolls out a new feature, start experimenting with it. Instagram rolls out new features, and the people that are using this feature, they will promote in the algorithm because they say, oh, look, people are trying our new thing. Let's show it to more people. And the newest feature is that poll feature. Now, I say this, and I recently did it, and I didn't do it the right way. So I had 0 people engage with my poll. But learn from me, folks. If you do the poll feature on your post, have that be the first line. So, with all of your posts, I'm always telling you, start with the hook, then you're going to fill it in with the SEO rich caption and then end with the call to action. Typically, the call to action would be at the very bottom saying tell me what you think by voting in the poll below. But since this is a new feature, if you're using this feature on your reels, on your posts, anywhere, I recommend having that tell me what you think by voting in the poll as your hook, because then you will have the opportunity to have more people engage with your poll. Polls are a great way to learn what your struggles are for your clients, for your ideal customer, for people in your industry. I do polls every single week on LinkedIn, and that's how I generate a lot of my content for the rest of the week. Recently over on LinkedIn, I did a poll about, do you find brands and individuals showing vulnerability online helps you feel like they're more authentic? And some of the comments in there inspired my then blog post. So utilize polls to your advantage and start doing them now over on Instagram because it is a new feature. All right. Now, recently, the head of Instagram, Asari, was talking about how you can show up less on social media. I would love it if we listened to a quick clip from his video where he's talking about how much you should be posting on Instagram.
If you're a photographer and there's no good way to make videos about your photographs, then don't do it. That's totally okay. But if you're lucky enough where a video is aligned with what you naturally produce, please lean in. Please lean in. Please lean in. It'll help you. Next, stories. In a world where people are inundated with overly processed content, a lot of what people want to see from you as a creator is a little bit of an authentic insight into what it is like to be in your shoes.
So what he's saying here is you only need to post a couple times a week if you don't have the right type of content to share. So if you listen to the full video, he's talking about if you're a photographer, obviously you want to share your photos, but it is smart to share videos. However, if you just can't create video content, then how are you supposed to try to do it if you want to have success on these platforms? And he says to do what works for you and your business, to try to create the content that your clients want to see and that's easy for you to produce. His big takeaway here is that you at least need to be posting on Instagram twice a week. However, when it comes to stories, that behind the curtain look into you and your business twice a day. So hopefully the head of Instagram has given you a giant sigh of relief. More and more people are jumping on this post less bandwagon. And now that the head of Instagram is behind it too, I hope that this gives you that giant sigh of relief for 2024, that when you go in with intention, you have the strategy behind what your post is, you know that the intention behind it, who you want to engage with it, what the outcome is, who it is for, and you show up intentionally on social media. You don't need to show up so much. Start posting to your stories. I tell all of my coaching clients this. Stories are a missed opportunity if you're not posting to it every day. Posting twice a day is what the head of Instagram recommends. So let's go ahead, start posting less, start paying attention to your stories, and we'll see you on next week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. If you are going to be at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego this 2024, please come and say hello to me, and Nikki from my team are going to be in attendance and we will be there. I'm going to be speaking on Tuesday, but let's find the time to connect IRL. So if you're going to be at Social Media Marketing World, be sure to connect with me. All right, we'll see you in next week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. I hope you're leaving with valuable insights and the inspiration to lead your market. If you've enjoyed our time together and found today's podcast episode useful, I have a small favor to ask of you. Please hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest episodes And if you know someone who could benefit from these episodes, maybe a fellow business leader or an aspiring entrepreneur, go ahead and share this episode with them. Let's spread the knowledge and grow together. Also, I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation beyond the podcast. Visit me at katiebrinkley.com to connect, to find more resources, or just to share your journey. And be sure to pick up your copy of my new book, The Social Shift, at katiebrinkley.com/book. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Katie Brinkley, and I can't wait to dive into more strategies and stories with you on the next episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Let's keep on taking your marketing to new heights.